Unusual, strange name. If you've got a name like Bill Smith and there are 400 million profiles worldwide, you're going to struggle. So what I suggest people do is use the advanced search. Anybody use the advanced search? Yeah. Okay, some have, some haven't. So click on advanced. Right, here's the advanced search function. As it stands at the moment, now, LinkedIn are in the process of rolling out changes. So for some of you, your LinkedIn may look a little bit different. They're right in the middle. Some people I know have had the new LinkedIn user interface. I haven't, fortunately. I was absolutely scared, but last night they would have flipped me over to the new one. I'd have come here this morning thinking, heck, what do I do now? But fortunately, it's the old one. So here's how it works. Here's when I take a big risk. If you remember, I said you can use LinkedIn to find, connect, and engage with people. Anybody you want to. So rather than me preload something in here, I'm going to ask someone in the audience so it doesn't look like I've set this up. Just give me a clue who somebody would like to connect with job title wise.
Interior designers.
Interior designers, that could be interesting. It's not an area I've worked much in, but let's give it a whirl. Let's see what happens. This is the magic, isn't it? Hey, this is the excitement. This is when you get squeaky bum time. Right. Interior designer, title. Interior. You can see now why I needed to get this on my screen. I'm trying to type, looking over my shoulder, doesn't work. So I've typed in interior designer. I've put it in inverted commas so it picks up interior designer only and not interior and designer. I'm only interested in current people. Anywhere, the default to the States, it's American based. Default to the States. Just a matter of interest, LinkedIn created 2003 by two guys in America who wanted to show each other or wanted to exchange electronically their contact book. And they did that and they said, wouldn't it be good if all our friends in our contact book could then contact each other? 2003. Now there are 400 million people doing that. £2.1 billion the turnover was last year. Can I have your postcode, please? Or a postcode? Sorry?
ST7.
ST7, is that Stoke?
Yes.
ST7, yeah.
2DQ.
2D.
ST3, sorry, 2DQ.
Don't worry about it. It's not going to make that much of a difference. Let's do 50 miles. That's what happens. 972. So I'm connected to, first or second tier connection, 972 people. How many interior designers do you want to connect to? Just a thought. You see the power, I'm saying to you now, of having more first tier, which gives you more second tier. When you come to do this part and you start to search people, you can use, you get this sort of degree of people you can contact. Now, you imagine sitting down Monday morning and you say, you get your book out, you're the old-fashioned way, I'm going to ring up every interior designer in the book. What's the odds of getting through to these people? What's the odds they will pick the phone up? What's the odds you'll get blocked by a gatekeeper of some description or a receptionist of PO or something like that? What happens if you send your emails to every interior designer, for 1,000 interior designers, how many people are going to respond to you out of 1,000? Less than 50 maybe, if you're lucky. My connection rate on LinkedIn is over 95%. So, here's the thing now, Nikki Belgrove is a second tier connection of mine. I didn't expect to have any first tier connections, to be fair, but hey, I might have done. If you'd have said to me marketing directors or IT people, lighting people certainly, but okay, so Nikki Belgrove is a senior interior designer. I can now contact her in one of two ways. I can either go to her, never ever ever, I'll think about it, click on this button here. Because all you will do is send a bog standard, I'd like to add to my professional network on LinkedIn. We can do far better than that, and when people come on my coaching programs and training sessions, I show them what's called magic messages. I show them how to connect with 50 people a week, spending less than 15 minutes a day. You connect with 50 people a week. To start with, your connection rate probably won't be as high as 95%, but let's say 75%. You're going to connect with something like 20 or 30 odd people, new people every week. Why is it really, really powerful? Because it gets you to the conversation, the point you want the conversation. If you remember right at the start, you need to wind back and think, why am I going on LinkedIn? Why am I doing marketing? It's to get in touch with people, it's to meet people, to have discussions with people so you can eventually develop business with them and sell. So what you're really looking for is the most cost and time effective way to get to that one-to-one conversation. Would that be fair? Here's the thing. I read a magazine last year, beginning of last year, and I was reading a magazine and it said a particular PLC based in London, we're going to spend £2.5 million in training during 2016. I am a trainer, I thought I want some of that. Now, can you imagine if I'd have rang up a PLC in London and says, can I speak to your training manager, please? And they'd have said, do you know his name? And I'd have said, no. They said, we have a no names policy. If you don't know his name, we're not going to tell you. Who's come across that one before? Because that's becoming very prevalent. Or they might have said, send an email to info at. The odds of me getting through to the right guy very quickly, or if at all, are very slim. I found the guy on LinkedIn using this method, because you can also put the company name in as well. So I found the guy using this method. I sent him a nice connection request, not this pressing this blue button, but a personalised message. He connected back with me. I then sent him another message saying, this is what I'd like to talk to you about. He said, fine Ian, here's my mobile number, ring me at 10 o'clock in the morning. I am speaking to this guy within 24 hours of reading an article in the magazine. You remember what I said? What you're trying to achieve is to get to one-to-one conversations as time and cost effective as possible. I am not aware of any medium that you can get through to those one-to-one conversations of people you currently don't know as quickly as you do this. So, Nikki, I don't know Nikki from Adam. I've got two ways to connect with her. I can either click on her profile, and I can press this connect button here, and it takes that screen. And I can overwrite this screen, I can overwrite this bit here, and write to my own personal message. Okay, there's one. Don't worry about this, we've done business together. Tick any box you like, because here's a freebie for you. They don't see what you tick. How about that? So when you're worried about, shall I tick all that, or I don't really know them, I don't know their email address, you just drop down box and click anything, they will never see it and you get through, but make your message personal. So that's one way I can get through to her. Or alternatively, I can, going back, I can also, you see there I've got 6 shared connections. So if I'm feeling a bit shy, because you can see I'm shy, I can go to one of these other 3 people, well there's 5 people altogether, that I'm actually connected to directly as a first tier connection, say, hi Adam, do you know Nikki, or you are connected to Nikki, do you mind introducing me? Is that not really a powerful tool? But going back to what I said right at the start, you need to bear in mind that you need to get your profile in good order first. Because if people connect with you and look at your profile and it doesn't look so great, they're going to think, I'm not really sure. So, in summary, I'm going to put this slideshow back up now to finish off with. Now we've done it. Somebody asked me about premium early on. I don't recommend premium. LinkedIn training is my business and I'm not on premium. Premium, 2 years ago, used to be 20 quid a month. It's now up to $79.99 a month. I don't think you need to be on it. There's 1 or 2 extreme exceptions. And there's some of the benefits that you need. My profile is about the only one. If you're on premium, you can go and see for the last 90 days who's viewed your profile. If somebody's looked at your profile, why wouldn't you want to send a message saying, thank you very much for looking at my profile, I wonder what interested you and how I can help? Why let somebody who's looked at your profile slide away into the distance? But what you can do, if you're not on premium, you can see the last 5. And that to me is about the only difference. When I'm out and about in a day like today, I'll have loads of people look at my profile, so I sit at the back and I will make notes of people who look at my profile during the day, and tomorrow when I'm back in the office, I'll send them a message. So in summary, this is marketing, not sales. Anybody that tells you that you'll get more orders as a result of being on LinkedIn probably lies about other things as well. It is a marketing tool. It is designed to get you to the point of having that one-to-one discussion. LinkedIn was specifically built for making business connections, so don't be shy about connecting with people that you don't know. I've had a lot of people say to me, yeah, but I don't know people. I'm a bit concerned about connecting with people I don't know. You need to grow your base. I will probably accept any connections made to me If it's a student in Kuala Lumpur that's got 5 contacts and no picture, I might draw the line. But as far as I'm concerned, by connecting with that one person, I'm going to have access to all their connections as well. So next time I do that search for me or one of my clients, I've got a bigger base to go at. Senior senior executives and decision makers handle LinkedIn mail personally. They don't delegate it. So they don't delegate the phone calls, they don't delegate their emails. So consequently, you'll get through to them quickly in the example I just gave you. No gatekeepers, no cold calling. Who likes cold calling? Fancy that for the first time today, no hands. You do not ever need to do any more cold calling if you know how to use LinkedIn properly. You saw that on the profile. Here's some of the things I help you. So far I've been talking about how I can help you. This is how I can help in one of these different ways. Tick the box on the form you've got there, and I will promise you to send you that 9 points document, and I promise to get you back and contact you to follow up in a way to find the best way I can help you. Can I ask one big favour? Yeah. Can I ask one big favour? I know that you know your own email address. When I've got a pile of these tomorrow morning, they work on the basis of I don't know your email address. So can you make it legible, please? Sorry, yes. And I've got to wind up because there's a big fellow at the back who's waving his hands at me saying, come.
Just a quick question. Well, probably not quick because we may have to answer it later.
Go on, just have a copy break. So
You've given us loads of tips for your personal profile.
yes.
And how effective do you think LinkedIn is for business profile?
Company profile, great question. Have I got 2 more minutes, boss? Thank you. Great question. People buy people first and everything else second. That's a sales adage I've sworn by and I've taught sales teams many, many years. People buy people first and everything else second. Where does a company page come in? I have a company page, but only because I use it to show people what a company page should look like. I have one follower, me. I don't promote it. Reason being, I do everything through my own personal profile. The only time I think a company page is useful is, let's say I'm going into a company in the Black Country next week to carry out training to their sales and marketing people. And let's say there's 10 of them there, and I show them how effectively, which I do, to connect with 50 people each a week. So they're ramming out almost 500 connections. Let's say they get 80% of them, so they get 400 connections a week. Let's say in 6 months' time they carry on doing that, and then they all leave. They take those connections with them, and the poor guy that's paid for that training has lost more, because you take your personal profile with them. Here's a clue, by the way, it's another thing to do. If you're on LinkedIn, make sure you've got 2 email addresses, particularly if one of them is your work's email address, because if you leave, you have major problems getting back in. So make sure there's 2 email addresses. So going back to corporate pages, what I say to people in that situation is set up a company page, have somebody to administer it, and get all your individuals in your company to drive your individual connections to that company page as followers. That serves 3 or 4 purposes. When everybody leaves, if they do, you've still got all that information. Secondly, time more effective. You can send all your copy and all your promotional activity and all your marketing stuff from your company page. So you get consistency of message and it saves a lot of time. Does that make sense? Great. You see on there, I do a number of things. I have 2 forthcoming workshops coming up for anybody that's interested. It may not be the best thing for you because if you're the sort of person that makes great notes over 3 hours and goes away and does, workshops could be the right thing for you, or 1-to-1 half-day sessions could be the right thing for you. But just be aware, how many times have you been training and made loads and loads of notes, said, yes, I'm going to do that, and then I'll do it tomorrow, I'll do it Friday, I'll do it Monday, I'll do it next week, it never gets done. It might well be that the coaching program is the right thing for you. If you're interested and want to know more details, those are the next 2. There's my contact details, but again, need necessarily make a note of it and get off me during the day. If you fill the form in, I will certainly get back to you. Thanks, you're awesome. One last question before you, I know you're all dying to applaud. Please connect with me if you haven't already. Sometimes when I do these presentations, people have been taking pictures and sorts of stuff on their phone, and I go back to my computer, turn it back on, I've got a few connections from there already. Here's the thing, if you connect with me, how many will your first tier connections increase by? Sorry? Thousands? Anybody else? If you connect with me, how many will your first tier connections increase by?
1. Sorry. 50.
That's okay, we're only going to find that all. Your first tier connections will increase by 1. How many will your second tier connections increase by?
2,000.
2,800. So straight away, you've got access to 2,800 names you didn't have contact to yesterday. How much would it cost you to buy that? Thanks very much, guys. Have a great day. Hope that was really useful. I'm around for the rest of the day. If you've got any questions, please come and speak.
Okay, we've got just over 10